I was like, Larry, they all say you're my dad, and they call me the Oreo. And Larry goes, all right, I got something for him. And then he started pulling up each day, blasting Bone Thugs.
Yeah.
Blasting it. And screaming out the window, where's my baby?
Yeah. Larry sounds like he hits.
They're the liberal rednecks. They like cornbread and butt sex. They care way too much but don't give a fuck. They're the liberal rednecks that makes some people upset, but they got 3 big old dicks that you can suck.
We are, boys. Here we are. Here in the Skew-universe recording once again. The WellRED podcast is Trae, Corey, and Drew. We got a special treat for you this week. A lovely guest, somebody that really we should have had on here a long time ago, a long time coming. They're very much our people. A Southern comedian based in Chicago with a new album out called Country Queer. Miss Ali Clayton's going to be with us in a minute, but Corey wants to he's got a surprise way of introducing her, something that he has not clued us in on. So, Corey, go ahead.
Yeah, I just really wanted y'all to see this clip, and I wanted her to have to enter the conversation right afterwards so that we could talk about it. So, anyways, this is Ali Clayton, everybody, just so you know how funny as fuck she is.
I'm Eva. I began hobby horsing when I was 13. Started really competitively by the time I was 17, and I'm now 47. The friendships are strong. Just always surrounded by women. I like to be surrounded by. I like women. Obviously, this is my main horse. As they say in America, my ride or die. This is Grandmother. I named her after my grandmother. It is a real competitive sport, like any other sport. Say bowling, rollerblading, football. Some people try to understand. I try to explain to the Americans. I am the Michael Jordan of Finland as far as competitive hobby horsing goes.
Okay, everybody. Ali Clayton, everybody. Welcome to the show, the hobby horse extraordinaire.
Oh, thank y'all.
Right off the bat, I want to say, before we get into hobby horsing, you do have a new album out, and it's called Country Queer. And I was just wondering if you knew that was also what they called Trae in high school, and that he had that copywritten before you released it.
I didn't know that. And I didn't know you were gay, Trae.
No, I'm not. I just like books. Yeah.
Well, that's how it starts.
Also my name rhymes with gay. So like I like books, wore glasses. My name rhymes with Trae is gay, so it was pretty much over from the start. But yeah, no, it's a lovely album title. I saw that video separately, Corey. I'd actually already seen that. I didn't know which one of her videos you were going to show, because there was a few that I thought you might be pulling, because there's another one where she talks about hiding the smell of smoking from her parents when she was a teenager.
I want to make her tell that story. Hold on, shut up. I want to make her tell that story. Yeah. I've got that written in my notes because she has to tell that fucking story.
But I wanted to ask her first, right off the bat, with that Finnish accent.
Yeah,
because it was lovely.
Have you seen the? Have you seen that? I saw it on Instagram, but it got around a video of a Finnish girl talking about bidets. Did you see that?
No. Oh my God. Will you send that to me?
I'm going to show it right now.
Yeah, share it right now.
Yes.
Because my point here is like,
you nailed it.
You really crushed the voice, in my opinion. And here's an actual Finnish lady. Let me
let's also ask them. Keep in mind, guys, we want y'all to guess what it sounds like she says. Me and Trae have already played this game, but if y'all could listen close and be like, "This is what she says." Did you find it already? All right, here we go.
Yeah. Okay.
Here we go.
Everybody can see that and everything?
Yep.
You were good? Okay, here we go.
In Finland, we have this thing called käsisuihku, aka pussy telephone. This is why we are so happy, because we have so clean assholes. Why doesn't every country have this? You know, the famous Riku Rantala from Mad Ventures said one time, if you fall face first in shit, do you wipe it with paper or do you actually use water as well? I, for instance, like to use water. So that's why I'm so happy. So please, rest of the world, start using these. They're very handy when you have the squirts. Like.
All right.
So what was it that she called that thing something? What did y'all think she said?
A pussy handle.
I thought I heard pussy.
Isn't that what y'all
telephone.
thought?
Yes.
Oh, no, yeah, pussy telephone. You're
Yes.
right. Yeah.
Pussy telephone. Yes.
That's
I
also
wanna
what
say-
Trae thought.
Allie, pull your hair back a little bit. Is this a character you did and you have tricked us completely with dyed your hair blonde and you just made up pussy telephone? That was you. That was you in both videos.
It was, God, I wish I thought of pussy telephone.
Oh, I've thought a pussy telephone. I just didn't patent it.
Somebody,
Yeah.
there's somebody in the comments saying it's like that is what she said, and it because it's some direct translation thing about the shape of it and it goes where it goes, and so that is apparently what they actually call it, according to a random Instagram commenter who I have not vetted at all. But I want to know what you did.
So funny. You know how we have je ne sais quoi, and it's like this ephemeral. We're not even sure what it really means, and then when our words go to another country, it's pussy telephone.
Right. But Allie, I want to know, as an accent person, I feel like that part of the world is difficult. Anytime that part of the world remotely comes up, me and Corey are always just like, I'm like we just do that.
Do the chef.
How did you do that? How'd you figure that out?
There was just this one video. Like, I discovered hobby horsing years ago. And when I still drank, and I would get drunk and watch this video by myself, wasted, and just laugh my ass off. And this woman is talking about hobby horsing is a real competitive sport, and like she keeps saying that, and I just watched it over and over and over and practiced the accent. And then of course everybody in the comments was like, is this Anna Delvey? This is too German. And I'm like, go hear how I really sound and then clap for me.
Well, the reason I even wanted to talk about hobby horsing is because like literally maybe 3 to 4 days ago, my wife was laughing at some shit on TikTok. Now, it wasn't your video. It was actually really people doing it. Like it was a real thing.
I didn't know until you just said you were saying what you were just saying. And in my head, I was going, wait, hold up. That's a real thing. So I thought that's just a sketch idea you had and made it up. Like,
so Amber tells me, she goes, have you ever heard of, you know what hobby horsing is? And I was like people who as a hobby have horses. She's like, no. It's people who pretend to ride horses. And I go, you mean like in Monty Python in the Holy Grail? And she's like, I don't know what that is. So I showed her the clip of them, coming up with the coconuts. And she goes, yeah, that's exactly what it is. And I was like, get the fuck out of here. Right. And so to see your video, I was like, wow, this is a, kind of a Bader Meinhof thing for me. I just heard about it. And now here you are doing a hilarious sketch of it.
Yeah, it's very funny. I just shot with Evening Squire Productions in New York. I'm based in New York now.
Oh, nice. Congratulations. And we're sorry.
Yeah. My pockets are sorry too.
Yeah. Sorry. Hey, by the way, Drew will leave and come back from time to time. That just happens. He usually does these from a Wendy's parking lot. Matter of fact, here he is again.
In Morgan County, Tennessee. So
if that happens again, you just keep right on talking.
Oh, he had to go somewhere to steal internet?
Yeah.
Yes,
exactly.
Much, yeah.
Pawn it, I believe. Yeah. See, just carry on. We'll pretend he don't exist.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
So you were saying you're in New York now.
But I just shot 3 hours of content of just that character.
Really?
So, yeah. So that will be dropping soon. And like, since I last, of course, everybody was like in the comments like, hey, why are you so fat and gay?
Just like Trae. Just like Trae. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Brother?
It's funny to think that they might think it's the same answer, It's like, it comes from one place, really.
So I did, and since then I've gained like 30 pounds. So I'm like, oh, they're really going to come after me now. So I decided to beat them to the punch.
They rabbit, as we call.
Yes. So I do this whole thing where I'm talking about how the gains I have to make and like how I've only been eating protein powder and bread.
All right.
Nice.
And then I like step on a scale and I'm like, yes.
Right.
Yes.
That's great.
Well, so
Trae,
you're
go ahead.
Just to establish for everybody, I mean, I feel like from the album title and everything, they probably, and the way you talk and everything, people are probably getting there on their own. But you are, you grew up in the South in North Carolina, is that right? And so tell us specifically what part of the South you grew up in. And the album title's Country Queer. You're a lesbian, right? And you grew up in North Carolina.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people in the Skewniverse, as we call it, our fans are going to be instant fans of yours, I'm sure. But won't you fill us in a little bit on the background, the origin story?
Yeah, I was born and raised in Rougemont, North Carolina.
Okay.
Small little town right outside of Durham, North Carolina.
All right.
So we would like 30 minutes to get to a grocery store type of thing.
Yeah.
You could go to the mini mart, no shoes required.
Uh-huh.
That sort of. We actually got our first hair salon this year, and it's called Head Mechanic.
That's pretty exciting.
Hair
It
salons
should tell you a lot.
Yeah, hair salons always have to have some sort of name like that in the South. Like I think there's the one that's not in my town, but in the town over. It's called Curl Up and Die.
Yeah, that's a classic. Yeah. That's from. I think I'm not saying it's from there.
Steel Magnolias.
There was a maybe, but I think it's there's a Jim Carrey, one of his like earliest movies or something. Anyway, it doesn't matter. That's from some '90s movie, or that '90s movie stole it first.
Yeah.
I don't know, but either way, definitely heard that one. But yeah, so you're like, okay, I mean that's it now. So you say you're 30 minutes from Durham or 30 minutes from just the closest grocery store, which is then an additional X miles from
No,
Durham.
I'm about 30 minutes outside of Durham.
Okay.
Outside of Durham. So my daddy is a lawyer, and like his practice was in Durham. We had to go to school in Durham.
Oh, all right. Okay. So your dad, like, just, I don't know, you guys just had like a house out in the holler type deal? But
yeah.
You can tell she's from near there because she doesn't pronounce the A, which fits for me.
Durham. Yeah.
Durham.
Yeah.
Does your daddy talk like you?
Worse.
He wins every case.
Leader of an attorney. I bet he's never fucking lost one. Your Honor.
He's pretty good. He's pretty good. And he got a new thing last time I was home. Well, he did call me the other day to be like, "Do you know it's Pride Month for gays?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yep, I knew it." But
was he telling you that in a sweet way?
Yeah, and like,
okay,
you celebrating? Like,
yeah, you got big plans. Yeah,
pace yourself. It's a month.
Yeah.
He tries so hard. We were watching TV together last time I was home, and all of a sudden he's flipping through the channels, and then it's women's wrestling was on.
Yeah,
and he was like, "Sis, you like this, right?"
Yeah, right.
And I'm like, "You want to watch this?" Yeah. And I'm like,
"Do you like that?"
No.
Yeah, cause I mean, I'm in. I'm for it. God damn, that is great.
So it sounds like your family's pretty cool. But what year did you graduate high school? I can ask you that question.
04.
Me too. We're the exact same
nice.
age, class 04. Perfect. Yeah. So we got a good reference point here. So what was your like? You said you went to school in Durham, so that's a city. So like, what was your experience like?
Well, like the school I went to, is northern Durham, so closer. So most of the people lived out in the country and then like came to school there. So it was a lot of cowboy boots and big trucks in the parking lot.
Yeah.
And then I also had to go to special school. And so I would have to ride a little bus to go to school. Yeah, I went to half a day. Just for reading, writing, and math. And then I'd have to come back to the regular school.
What was the situation?
What's wrong with me?
Yeah, because I got this. They know people like I also was in special ed, but I was in special ed. I was from such a small town that special ed includes
was just you.
No, I got into. I was in like the gifted program, but gifted falls under special ed. But at my school, that was one classroom with one teacher, so I was getting gifted course credit for taking special ed science classes and stuff because that's how my school operated. So, but yeah.
So just in case you missed what's happening here, Trae was in like 10th grade, taking 4th grade science and then getting gifted class credit.
Yeah, like extra credit on my
It was the same thing at my school, but they at least had a lady come around and like teach us to play chess or something. You know, like,
no, I was making like,
and then Trae entered the real world.
Stuff. Yeah,
and Trae entered the real world thinking he was the smartest man ever, and it makes so much sense.
That's also true. Yes, I did.
But that's not what was going on here. Sorry.
No, yeah, right. So, what's your situation?
Oh, I'm dyslexic,
okay,
dyscalculic,
I got that one. That's the
You
numbers
do?
one, right?
Yeah, that's the numbers one.
Yeah, I got that one.
And ADHD.
2 out of 3.
Oh, all right. All right.
Yeah.
Now, 2 out of 3. Oh, you're not dyslexic, Corey.
No, I'm not dyslexic now.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah.
But the numbers one, I honestly
hitting
didn't
for the
know it had a
cycle.
name. Yeah.
Yeah. That's so was that, I mean, back then, I feel like it's a whole different world now from when we were like school age. Like where I grew, did you catch hell for that? Like, was that a thing? Did you get made fun of for that? Or are people like cool about it?
I actually would get made fun of at learning disability school.
Yeah.
Which is insane.
By
I'm
other
like,
learning disabled people?
You can't read neither. Like, what are you talking about?
I bet I can not read worse than you can.
But my nanny was a black man named Larry. He was a recovering crack addict. My daddy had represented him a few times. Then he started working on our land, doing stuff like painting fences and stuff like that. And then I guess I just really liked him. My dad was like, "You want to take care of the kids?"
Right.
So Larry became my nanny. And so Larry would pull up in my mama's minivan, and all the kids started calling me an Oreo. And they'd be like, "Your dad," because they never saw my actual parents. They only saw Larry.
So they thought he was your real dad?
Yeah, so they all called me Oreo.
Was that only the learning disabled kids? Because that's a pretty dumb thought to have.
Right. Yes, it was. It was only special ed kids that did that.
Right. Because like you're white.
I'm very white.
Yeah.
Very white. But I told Larry that one day. I was like, "Larry, they all say you're my dad. And they call me the Oreo." And Larry goes, "All right, I got something for him." And then he started pulling up each day, blasting Bone Thugs.
Yeah.
Blasting it. And screaming out the window, "Where's my baby?"
Yeah. Larry sounds like he hits.
Yeah.
Damn,
Larry
you got
the coolest kid in special ed.
Yeah. No wonder you're a goddamn comedian. Good Lord. It'd be a waste if you weren't. All this ammunition you're dealing with. Like I always feel like, yeah, no, I'm just like being the way I liking books and being from a town like that is like enough for me. But you got all kinds of other shit going on. Yeah, I bet there's a lot more you haven't even got to yet. Like,
well, yeah, one thing, because we're talking about your younger years, you know, with Larry, Trae almost brought it up earlier, but I really wanted to hear the full story. And I know that you started smoking when you were 12. Which you got me beat by a couple years, I'll say. We like to do a thing on here, which is establish red cred or redneck bona fides or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And so you started smoking at 12. Carry on from there if you would.
You're doing great, Byron Allen, by the way. Show over here.
God damn
it. Setting up this story expertly. So you smoked at an early age, is that right?
What?
But anyway,
Fuck you.
Yeah,
hey,
no, go ahead.
He's a billionaire.
Yeah.
I did. I mean, like most of the adults around me smoked. And then we had a lot of, because we had like 25 acres. Originally, we sold miniature horses and donkeys, and then we went on to get exotic animals. It's crazy, but
are you kidding? There is more that you're still getting. Like you grew up with a menagerie, a mini menagerie, and like
a mini menagerie, a menagerie.
This is crazy.
But I would follow the workers around and like take their cigarette butts and then just like walk through the yard. And then when I became 12, like I started legit and then like getting people to get me packs of cigarettes and stuff like that. And
what
I would
kinds,
try to
like any kind they would get you, or did you already have a preferred brand at 12?
I've always been a Marlboro Light girl.
Sometimes you just
preferred
know.
him. I would smoke a Silver Thin or whatever, I could steal, but if I could get a Marlboro Light, I was a happy girl. And I loved to smoke. I loved it so much. And I would try to do it in my room, but I would try to like hide it. Like I wouldn't want to get caught, my parents to catch me. And one time what I used was I stole from my brother. I was like, they'll never be able to smell it through this. A bunch of fart spray. Like prank fart spray, man. I sprayed that all over my room. It looked like somebody had come in there and like just straight
tear gassed it or something?
Yes, just like with their ass, just shot it like drive by.
Shooting those canisters out of their assholes.
Yes, I was like, how do I say this vision I have? It was so bad that I threw up. I wish I knew where my brother got this fart spray, because I would love to prank some people with it now.
They got a new fart gun with fart spray out. Yeah.
Hold on. I know you're on the bleeding edge.
You were so quick to that.
He's on the bleeding edge of fart technology. That's no surprise by listening. But so you started at 12. How old were you when this incident happened? Like 12, or are we talking 15?
Probably about 13.
Yeah. So it's just so fun. Like the idea that would not also be alarming.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that. You know what I mean? It's like, I think she needs to go to the emergency room. Yeah. Right. Like beating the dirt. You okay? Jesus Christ.
You're vomiting.
You're throwing you shit so hard. You're throwing up everywhere.
And
in
it's
your own
invisible
bedroom.
shit.
Yeah.
She's shitting invisible shit.
You know, like I feel like at that point, if you're like, no, I'm just smoking, I didn't want you to know. It's like, oh, thank God. Thank God you're just smoking. I thought you were exploding violently.
I call him Bubs, my brother.
Of course, yeah.
Bubs, one time, he really did me a solid. I was at a friend's sleepover, and there were my parents always had these huge parties, everybody drunk, and there were two adults that went and got in my bed and started having sex. And so Bubs got out the fart spray and just went under the door and kept squirting it. And then all of a sudden he said you'd hear him. They start gagging. They had to evacuate. They couldn't handle it. He was like, I got him out of your bed, sis. I was like,
it's also, you. I wonder, they had to be blaming each other for that or whatever. You know what I mean? Like she was she's like, God damn, Randy's farting again. This happens every fucking time.
Like, I've never smelled balls this bad.
Yeah. You got just one brother, or you got multiple siblings?
I got two brothers, and a sister, but I don't talk to the sister because she's homophobic.
Oh no!
See, it sounded like so far I got an impression that you got a pretty good pretty good drawl.
That's wild to have
like as far as being gay from that type of South, especially.
Right.
Yeah.
Like it seemed like you from what you had said about your family. So, but I guess there's always got to be one.
Damn. Obviously we don't.
2 out of 3. I mean, those are all American numbers in the South.
That's Hall of Fame for sure. And I was like, we obviously don't have to get into it, but like, I would just feel like the Southern dad would be the hardest one to get. And if you could get him, then it's like, well, the rest are just going to fall the fucking line. I mean, I could be ignorant on how that works, but
if he's going to bat for crackheads and stuff in the 90s and shit like that, he's probably pretty cool,
Right.
Yeah. So your dad, Atticus Finch.
Right. Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah. So where are you in the age lineup?
Like
I'm the baby.
Okay, right on.
Yeah, you're the comedian.
My sissy and my other brother are from my dad's first marriage, and they both were not great when I came out. The brother, we've come really far, and I've gotten some apologies, and we're not in that place anymore. And then Bubs has never cared. And my dad,
that's your full brother. Bubs is
Bubs is the full brother.
Fart praying for freedom out here.
Damn right.
We always protect each other.
I had a feeling before you even said anything, he was down. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's great.
Did any of them go into the family practice? You got lawyers in the family, and was that something that you thought about doing? Because Drew being a former lawyer, a lot of the things you have to do to be a lawyer translate to comedians, captivating a crowd, convincing people that whatever. Was that something you wanted to do?
No, I always wanted to perform.
Yeah. Were you in like theater and shit as a kid? Like you doing plays and shit in high school?
I went and I did pageants. I was a pageant kid.
Oh, okay. Right on. Damn. From like little kid pageant stuff?
I started when I was 8.
Yeah. So what's your outlook on that whole world now? That's also fascinating, I feel like.
I think, the sexier the better.
Oh yeah. My kid's sexy as shit. You go get him?
But But they would dress us so sexy.
Oh, we know. Everybody knows.
And we would do all those moves and just. I don't have an issue with it personally. Some of those, I mean, the most redneck people you will ever see in your life are in that Marriott ballroom.
Oh, yeah.
For those pageant contests.
Do you think a part of it is kind of like a here's your one chance fancy, don't let me down type situation for some of them, you know?
Maybe,
but you got to pay a shit ton.
Yeah, that's true.
To be in those.
It's just like a culture. It's what I'm, you know, people ever since that Tyler's and Tiaras and all that shit came out, and it became like a hot button thing for a while. People were talking about like, you know, this really shouldn't be, or at least it shouldn't be this sexualized or whatever. And then I was back home recently, like within the past year or 18 months, I was back in Salina, my hometown, and I ran into my friend's mama, and who I've known since I was 8 or whatever, working at the Rite Aid, and she's like showing me pictures of my friends' daughters, so who are like showing me pageant pictures of her grandkids, my friends' daughters or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was just like, she was so genuinely sweet and proud and everything of the whole thing. And there was no like that. And there was nothing at all weird about it. Do you know what I mean? Like it's like, I could just, so I was thinking, you know, it reminded me like, you know, it ain't as nefarious or whatever as it seems to a lot of people from the outside, to the people who are involved with it. It's just like a cultural thing that you do, and they get really into it. And it's not
like, if you're editing it for TV, you're going to make it seem like the worst possible situation.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there were definitely times where like you're seeing, you know, moms. I mean, they used to glue our swimsuits to our butt. That kind of hurt.
So that your cheeks wouldn't come out?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's at least looking out for you.
Yeah, right.
You know.
I mean, the front and back. No, I'm just kidding.
Ooh,
no.
My pee ain't going nowhere.
So how long did you do that for? Like all through high school and everything?
Well, 8 to 18.
Yeah.
But I got sent off to one of them troubled teen places.
God damn.
No, none of us can hang with her, dog.
Yeah, your sister sucks, dude.
Dude.
My thing was turned down too low, but I did just hit the redneck alarm for anybody.
Well, now we got to divert again into this. You went to fucking juvie or whatever as a teen pageant queen at 15, smoking and fart spraying everywhere. What'd you do this time?
A pageant girl in juvie is Juviard, I believe.
Went to Juviard.
Juviard. I painted and twirled.
Well, my parents let my cousin, who's a crackhead, live with us.
Yeah.
And so he started being like, hey, Allie,
can I have some crack?
Yeah. No, I only got a little left, but sure. No, he would be like, Allie, go tell your parents we're going to the movies and we need $60. And then he would go and buy me like a pack of cigarettes and one Boone's Farm. And I didn't know how much anything cost.
Right.
Of course.
So,
right.
And then he would just pocket the rest of the money.
Right.
But like I did
crack.
ecstasy at 13 with him.
Hell
like
Did you do it in a trailer?
Yes, I did.
That was meth. That was meth.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Yeah, it was
You
not
think
mine.
so?
Oh, not think. No, it was.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
This
maybe
used
I
to
did
be
meth.
a bit I did, but yes, it's
Yeah,
100%. We
meth,
have decided collectively that if you ever did Molly in a trailer in high school, you were just doing meth with your cousin.
And by the way, again, not that I promote anyone doing it, but I will say meth is a good time.
Yeah, meth don't not hit.
Meth
like
don't
you
not
used to have
hit.
that bit about it. You know?
Right.
It's like,
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead, Allie. I want to hear the rest of. So, how far did you go down the deviant path with this guy?
Oh, you know, just I mean, not really that awful, but it's gonna be a downer, guys. I tried to kill myself, so
Oh no.
yeah, sorry.
Because of like drug use and shit as a teenager, or like
depression. I think I
Yeah.
was just really depressed, and
Been there. Now we're 3 for 4.
yeah, and then I got shipped off. Like the doctor in the psych ward was like, basically, if you don't send her somewhere, she'll be dead in a year.
Okay,
And right
so
now,
you weren't like out fucking robbing sheep, like breaking the law. It was a mental health concern. Is why
I
you
brought
got
home
sent
9
off.
trespassing tickets one night because we were smoking weed down by the lake, and we said we was fishing, and we weren't.
Yeah.
But like,
how do you get 9? Anyway,
because I brought everybody's home. Everybody was
okay.
there.
All
Daddy
right,
had to
gotcha.
take care of it.
Oh
I
yeah,
thought
yeah.
you
Your
got-
dad's
I
a
get
lawyer.
it.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. I get it
I
now.
thought you
I
somehow in that
got
one
an hour.
instance got 9
Bullshit.
separate.
I'm going back.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
Yeah,
9
that's what I
times in
thought,
one
too.
night.
I was like, God
you
damn,
are a slow learner.
you think-
Goddamn.
Well, no, yeah, fuck, that'd be on the cops. I think after 4, they'd be like, "Bitch, get in the car."
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Well,
I
we
got
couldn't
an
we
alley,
couldn't
but
run because we had our friend Brian was in a wheelchair and we couldn't just leave Brian.
Yes. So related to that, I wanted to say at least you were a fun suicidal. It sounds like you were just a ripping good time. You were too fun for the town.
Yeah,
I was.
Seems like you sobered up and you were like, "This is life." Ugh, gross.
Yeah. Yeah, I got sober again because I went hard again. And then I got sober again when I was 31.
Well, the first one never
Nice.
takes.
Yeah, you know.
I have a random question, but you said for a while y'all dabbled in tiny horses and donkeys, right?
Yes.
Your family
Mm-hmm.
in Durham, North Carolina, right?
Yep.
So
Ridgemont, yeah.
did y'all have any dealings or
With Stampede
any kind
of Love?
A lady named Tara who also dabbles in tiny horses in that same area? Because if y'all ended up like hating each other, or having some kind of rivalry or something like that, that would.
Do you know
absolutely kill
Tara's
me.
last name?
Needham.
Needham, Tara Needham.
Yeah.
Tara
Like,
Needham.
goddamn, tiny
I
horses.
need-
I need them.
Needham.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can call my daddy right now and ask him if you want.
She
me to.
actually
Yeah.
texted me this
You can
morning.
call
with-
your dad and he's going to answer.
Yeah, do it.
Okay.
Call him right now. Right now.
Tara Needham.
Tara Needham.
Yep.
She's got her own tiny
We
horse
have
Call
operation down
Daddy.
there.
For him too, though.
This is amazing.
Because that's our tiny horse lady.
I want to hear, about the tiny horses. I want to hear about the parties.
Okay.
I want to hear about Larry.
Let him
He
know
clears
we're
his
recording,
clears
obviously.
his throat a lot. Just FYI.
That's okay.
Me
You
too.
put it right up to the microphone.
Yeah.
He ruled.
It'd be weird if he didn't answer.
He might be in court. No, it's 4:30 there.
Yeah. He did recently get an eye surgery. He might have been going back. Oh, here he is.
This is Jerry. I'm sorry I missed your call. I'll call you back as soon as I can.
You get it.
It's like in the
Daddy,
middle
call
of-
me back. I need to know. Do you know Tara Needham from the mini horse community?
It's- that voicemail sounded like while he was recording it, he was like, "Nobody leaves voicemails no more." You know what I mean? You
Just
call me back whenever.
Yeah.
God damn it. You know, whatever. God, I hope he calls back. But yeah, just by hearing him right there, does he wear seersucker by chance?
What's that?
You
know,
don't know
the,
what
like-
seersucker
Are you
is?
talking
Like,
about the
white
shoes?
and blue striped sort
Like
of
what
deal.
Matlock wore. You know,
Yeah.
like
The
the
suits
like
that
Kentucky
are really
Derby.
light linen and they're
Kentucky Derby.
No. So every day he wears a full suit with a bow tie and
Yeah.
cowboy
You
and
sure
cowboy
it's not-
boots.
Are you sure it's not seersucker?
What color is the suit? Is it like
I
dark,
mean,
like a dark gray?
yeah, like a dark
okay.
gray.
Yeah, okay. No, that ain't.
And a bow tie and cowboy boots.
Mm-hmm.
Shee-wee, son.
So you've answered the question I wanted to ask just by
Yeah.
describing that, but I wanted to know. It sounds like your dad is a very creative character. He's got wild parties where people are fucking in his kids' bedrooms.
Yeah.
And stank.
He's got a mini horse and mini donkey menagerie going on. Does he support and love what you're doing? It sounds like he's like got a little bit of the performer or the bug in him or something.
Oh, he does. He actually performed on a show called Blackout Diaries with me, where you tell drunk stories. And my dad, afterwards, he made like, I don't know, $50 or something
From
doing
tips
the show.
or something?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like the booker came up and paid him $50 for being on the show. And my dad was like, I don't see how you're doing some shows for free, man. This is my first one. I already got 50. And I'm like,
He lost his amateur status, though. He can't compete in the Comedian Olympics. That fucking sucks for him. I bet he was great, though.
Yeah, I'm about to say that he's smashing that.
oh
thing.
yeah, he was great. One of my favorite stories is I tell the joke about when I came out to my daddy. So when I came out to my dad, I'd been dating a woman that looked just like Peter Pan. And
Which version? Like the OG from the 30s
yeah.
live action? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
That checks out.
yeah, I mean, perfect beginner lesbian.
Absolutely.
So-
Like a pair of New Balances.
So I was dating her and I didn't know how to tell my dad, and I was terrified to tell him. Like, I had no idea how he was going to respond, because I heard him calling people gay boys and queers growing up. And so I showed him a picture and he goes, he clears his throat all the time. Damn, sis, that's one ugly fella.
Jerry Clayton, legend. That's amazing.
And then he said, well, shit, I think this might be a woman. And
did you know that?
Yeah. I said, I'm dating a woman, Daddy. And he said, well, suck one once don't mean you're gay.
Okay. All right. Again, that's pretty open-minded.
That's very open-minded, because a lot of people where we
it's the exact opposite.
It's the exact opposite.
Yeah,
Suck
right.
one once, no matter what else you do, you're forever gay. Yeah.
So, but was that him like saying maybe you're not gay, like to himself?
Like it might be a phase?
I think it was him. Something happened. He's telling himself he's not gay.
Okay.
All right.
Had some good parties, sounds like.
Yeah. Well, I would prank call him for years after he said that to me, and I'd be like, just put me through. Jared Clayton, attorney at law. Do you suck a dick or not? Because he did. You don't suck one once, don't mean you sucked a dick.
Yeah. I mean,
he said that so many times.
Yeah, badgering the witness over here. God damn.
Yeah.
How old were you when that interaction happened?
Believe I was 27.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
I came out to.
It's been a while. So, you know, a decade or so of him, of everybody knowing the deal.
Yeah.
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 What's your deal now? Are you married or what?
She left me.
Oh man.
Keep stepping in it over here.
Don't date comedians.
Wow, is that what happened?
Yeah, it was like a big. She just said, I'm so jealous of you to the point that I resent you.
Said that?
Yeah.
Actually said that?
Yeah.
That's crazy, because usually like they don't say that, and then you go in your head, you go, well, I know why. But like, God damn, like, hell, that's at least good that you know.
I'm like, well, at least it's because I'm so talented.
Right. Every time I was dumped by a woman, it was, you really suck at comedy and this ain't going nowhere. That was their line every time. So, yeah, that's way better.
That's like particularly rough, though. That's so heartbreaking to be like, so I did well in life and got myself into this scenario. I mean, at least you dodged a narcissistic bullet, but wow.
I did. Yeah, we were together 6.5 years.
Oh,
like,
my God.
She could have come home and been like, babe, let's go to City Hall and get married. And I'd have been like, let's do it. And instead, she came home and said, I'm jealous and it's over.
Wow.
Are y'all both still comedians in the same general scene? Like, is she a New York comedian now? And so are you? Like,
she is a New York comedian. I haven't ran into her because I get booked on better shows.
Yeah, right. Because you hit harder. Yeah, right. Yeah, that's the whole thing. Yeah.
They not like us. They not like us.
What? That got me so fucking hyped. The way this is probably somebody I know and it's one of my friends, but right at this moment I hate this person. I'm all on her.
Yeah. When did you start stand up? Because like I know that you were doing pageants when you were younger. Was there part of you that always knew I wanted to end in stand up, or were you just like, I want to be a performer, and then through years of making smart ass jokes or in your case probably a lot of like self-defense, self-deprecating stuff because of your situation, when was it that you finally were like, I'm going to stand in front of a microphone and do this shit?
Well, I started stand up for like real in 2009.
Okay.
But I had my degrees in acting. I went to theater school. Then I did an internship working on New American plays. And there, part of my apprenticeship was that you had to do one thing that you've always wanted to do, but terrifies you. And I said, stand up. And because everybody always told me how funny.
Suicide.
Yeah. Well, you know.
That's how you do it. Not me.
No, pills all the way.
Yes, pills. Thank you.
Pills all the way.
Pills all the way, dude. Pills all the fucking way.
That's the next album title. But anyway.
Yeah,
So you did this for like a school thing. You did stand up as part of that.
Yep. And they called the local club and got me a 5-minute spot on a Friday night show.
Whoa. Wow.
You never
done
late
it?
Friday or early?
I don't remember.
What city?
Louisville, Kentucky.
At the Caravan? Was it the Caravan?
Yes,
then?
I think it was
Holy
the Caravan.
shit!
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, their booker was the biggest dickhead in the world.
That's
Corey's like, oh, I was on that show. You buried me.
It might have been the case. If it was in 2009,
did not
I'd
bury anybody.
Renan Hirschberg was bumming around there in 2009. I remember, and but it was a fun place to go to. Anyways, go ahead. You did the fucking Caravan. Your first set was at an actual club on a Friday fucking night. 5 minutes. Did you have 5?
I had worked so hard. I was calling people. I was asking every person, what do you call a vagina? And I wanted every name that there was. I had pages of vagina names. I mean, we're talking pink taco, beef curtains. I had them all. And I thought that was very funny. And I got on stage and I started calling the women out that are in the audience and being like, well, I can just tell from your smile you got beef curtains, like that kind of thing. And all of us, and they hated me. Yeah. And then
look at this big old pussy bitch down here sitting in the front.
And all of a sudden this woman just goes, you're a bitch. But I had one joke that hit that got a laugh. I still remember it. Growing up, I did a lot of beauty pageants. I was a lot like John Benet Ramsey, except for my mama drank more wine and my parents didn't kill me. Yeah. And that one hit. And I was like, came off crying because they yelling, I'm a bitch. And then like.
But you still got one.
But I was like, but that one did good. I need to try that again.
And was that after? And so was that after you had made fun of everybody's pussy and got called a bitch that you did? So like that joke landed after all that?
No, I think it was like one of the first ones I did. I was like,
I was about to say, that would have been amazing.
One. Let me just get them on my team real quick and
ruin it. Yeah.
Well, that's classic.
So was that was the start of it in 2009, or you did that and then that pushed you away for a while, and then in 2009 you came back for real?
No, it didn't push me away. I did that, and then after that I moved to Chicago. All my other acting apprentice people went to New York, and I went by myself to Chicago because I wanted to do comedy, and Chicago is comedy.
There you go.
How'd that? Well, I mean, to be fair, so is New York, right? Were you going to do like Second City shit? Did you do that? Did you do all that too? A lot of times that's kind of there's a divide there.
There is like an improv stand-up divide.
Yeah, right. So you did both? You're on both sides of that
I did both, and then I kind of decided, I like stand-up more.
Yeah.
Okay. When'd you move from Chicago to New York?
2016.
Oh, all right. So you've been there for a while.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
I think I'd left right after you got there then. Sounds like.
Yeah, you missed it.
Drew, I feel like we did some show. We were on some show in New York together, but I don't remember what the show was.
It would have been right before I left, I guess.
Yeah.
I was drinking a lot. I don't remember much about
that is. I've had so many people come up to me in Chicago and be like, "Allie, great to see you." And I, like you said earlier, Corey, I would be like, "Hey, buddy,"
yeah,
and then they'll be like, "Do you like people realize I don't remember?" And I'll be like, "I was drunk the entire 8.5 years I lived here." Like,
all right.
Well, there was a moment in New York where I wasn't drinking beer. I have a lot of stomach problems, and I thought, I promise I'm getting to a point. I thought bread was the issue, so I quit drinking beer, and I just couldn't afford liquor. So for a few months, my friends would see me, and I wouldn't be drinking. And then the next time I drank in front of Caitlin Palufo, she was like, "Drew, you sure?" And I was like, She like had observed that I had a drinking problem.
Yeah.
Had observed that she hadn't seen me drinking, and that was so out of the ordinary that when she saw me drinking, she thought I'd fallen off the wagon.
Yeah.
Well, we all have our own stories of how we did in New York and how we handled the fact that, we have this accent in New York. But moving to New York in 2016, with your accent. This accent took a real punch in the dick in 2016 because of the whole Trump thing. And, like I said, we all could wax on forever about how we handled our accent in New York, but I've never talked to a woman about it. So how did that go over? Did you feel like you had to constantly do the origin story when you got on stage to make sure that they knew that you weren't one of the racist assholes, or did you open with the pussy stuff?
Just get up there and say slurs.
Yeah, just all of them. All of them. You could every single one you're thinking in your head. That was my first line.
Like the beef curtain joke, you were doing that, but
but with racial slurs.
The accent. Well, what's the most irritating is like when I meet somebody and I'm like, "Hey, I'm Allie," and they're like, "Well, hey there, Allie." Yeah, y'all all know. Like people do that shit, and it's so irritating. But a lot of times audiences will like kind of be curious and like I'll be like, I'm not doing a kooky character right now.
Right. That's how it's going to be the whole time.
That's the main thing. I feel like in Los Angeles, I've lived in Los Angeles almost as long. I moved here in 27, like the very beginning of 2017. And like still now to this day, I go up in front of a general audience in Los Angeles. Like I say something that lets them know like this is not a bit or a character like that. I really do talk this way because for a while I was like, fuck them. I'm just going to go up there and do material. They'll either be with it or they won't. But like you could feel people being like,
when's the shoe going to drop?
Right. Confused. Like so this is some kind of character or something, right? Like what is this? And so now first right out of the gate, I got to be like, not a character. I really talk this way. Now let's, move on.
Trae, tell her the story.
Tell her the story.
Tell her the story. It's a quick version of it, and you can tell her who it was if you want, or you can tell her when we're off the air. But please tell her the story.
I'll say who it was. It was Pete Holmes. Say the fucking story.
Fuck Pete Holmes.
I mean, to be fair,
I'm not saying it in a fuck Pete Holmes way. I'm just like that's who it was.
He immediately
that's what you said. You meant it. You said it from your heart.
He immediately addressed this, and then also I did too the night that it happened. So I don't think he would care that whatever people. But anyway. I did his show at Largo once after I first moved here. And I just, the first time I met him, I walked in there and was introduced to him by the owner, Flanny. And it was like, hey, I'm Trae, man. Thanks for having me. Really appreciate whatever. And he goes, yeah, right on. It's like, you're not going to do the voice all night though, are you? Like back here and everything. And I was just like, I mean, probably on account of this is just my voice, and then when he introduced me, when he brought me on stage, he kind of made fun. He told them that he had done that. And then he was like, he said something like, as if there aren't hundreds of thousands of people who talk exactly like this. Or when I got done, he went up there and acknowledged it. But yeah, I had a bit about that for a while where I was saying like, I feel like this is one of the only accents that gets that particular reaction. Like I feel like if the thing I used to say in the bit was like, if I was Irish and I walked up to the same guy like, hey, Trae, thanks for having me. It's good to be here. I don't think anyone on earth would be like, whoa, pump the brakes, Lucky Charms. All right, we get, this accent for some reason people do that with, and I don't think they do it with any other one. I don't think like New York, Boston, Minnesota, or English, Irish, whatever. It's just this one for some reason. People.
I get a lot like. You haven't lived in North Carolina since you were 21? Why do you still sound like that?
That too. Yeah.
I can't. Matter of fact, now that I'm thinking about that, I can't imagine what 21-year-old you sounded like because I'm sure it has faded a little bit.
I mean, mine definitely has.
I think about that all the time because I have the lightest accent of the four of us. Now, I think in law school they literally, and I've told the story before. I won't tell it, Allie. Tried to get me to drop it or whatever. Yeah. But I think about how redneck I've sounded like on old home movies. Y'all gotta sound like cartoons.
I've told y'all before how in my hometown, I just met a guy. Drew, you were there, Richmond or whatever. There was a dude from my home county, but not Salina, like the neighboring town. And he swore that when he very first saw one of my videos on the internet, he swears that he told his wife that guy's from Salina. He said he could tell like specifically that I was from the town I'm from because he's
look at his teeth.
Yeah, that too. But like people at Salina literally talk like this. Like the boys I went to high school with, this is how thick their fucking accents was. And I mine was much closer to that. My accent has dampened tremendously and it's still this thick. But the people that lose it so easily, that leave there and lose it, like I don't know how they do that. Like I really don't.
tried.
Like, I
Did
tried
you try
to.
to get
Like,
rid of
So
yours?
you did try, Allie, to lose it?
In theater school.
Yeah.
They
Right.
were like
Yeah.
that I
Exactly.
needed to.
My wife went to
exactly.
theater school and they
I
did that.
doing
to her.
auditions and shit out here. Like, I did that. Like, if I'm given another accent to fake, like, I can do that usually. But just doing a standard flat American accent, my brain interprets that as like the absence of an accent, just removing my accent and not adding a different one on top of it.
Yeah.
And I just can't do that shit. Like, I can't just get
can't
rid of
either.
it, really. And
Well,
I don't know why.
It's Heath Ledger in The Joker. If you ever want to try to copy one, watch him over and over again because he purposely made his as flat as possible to sound as creepy as possible.
Well, he sounds wild as hell, though. He's like, my father. Well, he's like, yeah,
My father
was a drunk,
And a
No,
fiend.
standard American.
And a fiend.
One night he goes off crazier than usual, and Drew's like, "You should mimic that.
Do
guy.
that.
That guy sounds as normal as any white guy sounds."
Just talking about the accent.
Allie.
I don't know what to say.
Allie, on that note, and you saying that you tried to drop it for, theater or whatever, was there a moment where you just decided, fuck it, this is who I am? Because that certainly happened to me early on when I was doing stand-up. I would be like, I don't want to talk about, fucking here's your sign and all this stuff. So maybe I shouldn't do the accent. Maybe I should try to temper it down. And then there's a certain point, it's like, this is just who the fuck I am. This is who I'm going to be. Did you have that moment? Or are you still trying to lose it and you just fucking suck at it?
No longer trying to lose it. Now I'm kind of like, it's a good thing.
Right. Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
We're back, baby.
Yeah.
I had the
sets me apart.
Right. I had the unfortunate, awesome luck of going viral last week with a joke about my accent. And dude, like a solid 20% of the comments, the joke's about like, hey, this is an Appalachian accent. Maybe you've heard of Appalachia. And then I do some jokes about the Appalachian accent. 20% of the comments, this ain't no Appalachian accent.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, every
I'm
time.
sure you'll get that a
Where the
lot.
hell's
She's
this guy-
faking.
Now, thank God people are in like, this dude's from East Tennessee. Go fuck yourself, lady. And I'm like, thank God the rednecks got my back.
Yeah.
Oh, that too. People think like, yeah, even people will be all the time like, I'm from the South or I'm from Tennessee or whatever. This is bullshit. This is not real. This guy's faking this accent or whatever. Like that happened. Like the most egregious one to me, because when that happens on my videos and stuff, I assume those people just hate me or they don't like what I'm saying. But when I did a couple episodes of the show Veronica Mars, and I played this like little small character named Chattanooga Charlie, right? Literally. And so I just talked the way that I talk, of course, and because the guy was from the Chattanooga area, which is an hour away from where I grew up. And like, when that came out, there were people commenting on it on like social media and stuff. They were saying like, pretty good episode, but I don't know where they found that Chattanooga Charlie guy, but that was the worst Southern accent I've ever heard in my, or like that is like, that's not even remotely close to a Tennessee accent. That actor, whatever he was doing, that was insulting, and I'm like, I'm from there and I just talk this way.
Yeah.
But, like, you get that type of shit all the time.
I've had people comment on mine that say, I'm from the area that this guy purports to be, and he is not from here. And I want to be like, if you were actually from the area that I purport to be, we would have went to a party together. Like we would have known each other.
Did anyone catch that Corey went Foxworthy for if you were from
Then I threw the word purport in there, which means I went Crowder.
Yeah.
I love that y'all think I've watched enough Foxworthy to
What? You don't
to know.
You don't fuck with Foxworthy?
You
I mean,
avoided
no,
Foxworthy somehow?
Huh?
Dude, you were not exposed to Foxworthy as a
No, I was exposed. I would be honest, between them all, Ron White was my favorite.
Well, of course.
Yeah, for sure. That's
But, like,
fine.
We're
But
surprised your dad didn't make you watch it.
me and
Like,
you are the same age, like we're the exact same age, and like
Foxworthy was like Mickey Mouse.
he was ubiquitous in my childhood, in my hometown. Like everybody knew every word of every Foxworthy album and bit and everything. Like I don't know how you could have avoided it.
Oh,
I
no,
feel bad for you.
I didn't avoid it, but yeah, I mean, just like if we had the DVDs or whatever, I'd just be like, fast forward to Ron White. I just loved him so much.
Yo, yeah. I mean, Ron's great,
Ron
but like,
White's
even
actually
like,
pouring out.
we're Foxworthy hipsters because like when the Blue Collar Comedy Tour came out, I was like, hell yeah, Foxworthy's finally making the big time, I guess, or whatever. That was like in our minds. But yeah, I mean, like Trae said, he was sort of like Mickey Mouse. Like he was the reason that I even knew that I could do stand-up. I didn't think they let people with our accents do stand-up until I heard him. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's a really good point. No, that's a great point.
Yeah, because it was always like Johnny Carson would always say, from the Comedy Store in L.A. or from the Cellar in New York, and he never said from the Chuckle Dick fucking, West by God,
Alpharetta.
Yeah.
Tell us about the album, Allie.
The one named after Trae.
Yeah. Country Queer. So it is, a lot of family content in there, a lot about coming out. I have a 4-track story about in 2009 when I first moved to Chicago. I was not out, and a friend came out to me, but we didn't know where any lesbians were. Like, I was like, we got to kiss one to find out if we're gay. But then we were like, but where are they? We don't know where they're at. And so we Googled it. Or we
in
asked,
Chicago?
Yeah.
Probably asked Jeeves or whatever.
Right.
And it said all the lesbians were at a place called Cubbyhole in New York City. So we got flights for what?
You left Chicago, you sweet summer child?
Yes. Just to kiss a woman. I got my parents to pay for it. I was like, I can afford my hostel, but I can't get the flight, and these are some big comedy opportunities for me.
Yeah.
See, we really are all the same, because I've done wilder stuff to get a girl to kiss me, too. That's pretty great, though.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
I call that the Pussy Hunt of 2009.
Yeah.
And let me tell you guys, success.
Oh, yeah.
Right on.
It's all around.
So, yeah, it
my
wasn't
God.
bad information. The Cubbyhole in New York. Okay.
Oh my God.
How do you want people to check it out? Like, you got a preferred source or whatever?
It's streaming on all the platforms. You can go to Blonde Medicine's website and buy a download. You can buy the vinyl.
And I know you're on tour right now, too. Give us some dates. Promote your tour. Do everything. Promote everything you got, because everybody loves you and wants to come see you.
Oh, that's so nice, y'all. All my dates are on my Instagram at Ali Clayton Comedy, but my bigger ones are, if you are near Kalamazoo, Michigan, on June 21st, I'm headlining the Lucky Wolf Theater. If you are in Chicago, June 22nd, I'm headlining the Lincoln Lodge. And I'm doing Green Bay, Wisconsin is a Don't Tell show. I'm headlining this weekend. Yeah,
Nice.
No tell. And then I'll be back at the Laughing Tap, where I recorded my album, to do an album release show and party on the 28th in Milwaukee.
Hell yeah.
Well, y'all go see her. And you go ahead and plug your shit, Trae.
Yeah, no, this was great. Very funny. Thanks for coming
Yeah, we
on.
got outclassed in every fucking regard. I mean,
the credentials, the background, the history,
Yeah, you out Southern Gentry'd Corey, and then out white trashed Trae, and I
Right.
understand.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty wild, but it was fun. Like I said at the very top, feels like it was long overdue. So I'm glad this finally happened.
yeah.
Oh,
please
yeah.
come back
I
anytime.
think I've been in all of your DMs.
Yeah.
You have.
Oh man.
But yeah, this was great. Yeah, I got some California shows on the tour. Next up, the Brea Improv, and then Levity Live in Oxnard, and then the San Jose Improv, all coming up soon. And then after that, Tulsa, Oklahoma, I believe. So go to TraeCrowder.com and check them all out. Come see me.
Yeah.
I will be in San Diego this week when this comes out on Friday, filming a Don't Tell. So if you want to go to the Don't Tell San Diego website, they're doing the special taping. You can see the link. The Bristol show is postponed because the club's not ready, guys. So Bristol folks, you're going to have to wait till the fall. Or Nashville, June 26th. I've been plugging on here for a while. It's going to be great. I'm headlining the big room. I'm very nervous about it. Allie's going to be there. Corey's going to be there. Trae will be there. They're all doing 30 minutes. I think Kevin Hart's coming in.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a great time. I heard we can't confirm, but now that Cosby's out of jail, we're going to get him there and we're going to beat him up. So like it's something for everybody. Zany's Comedy Club, June 26th. Please come buy the tickets. Appreciate y'all.
I ain't doing shit. So go to bonuscorey.com. So go to bonuscorey.com and subscribe for my bonus stuff. Bonus, it's not bonus anymore if I'm not doing any other stuff. It's just now the stuff that I do. So I'm just going to change it to the stuff.com. But no, it's
Corey.com.
Yeah, bonuscorey.com. You can, I just put out a couple new essays, one on cicadas that is nice, and I do podcasts and stuff. But hey, more importantly, y'all go support Ali. Get that album Country Queer. Go see her on tour. And before we go, if I may, thank you all for listening to the WellRED Show. We'd love to stick around longer, but we got to go. Tune in next week if you got nothing to do. Thank you. God bless you. Good night and skew.
Gorgeous.
Fart.